Hello everybody, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at a couple tropical disturbances that are currently out in the Gulf of Mexico. Then we're going to be looking at your severe weather threat over the central United States. And then we're going to be looking at your pattern over the next couple of days. And we're going to be looking at your high and low temperatures. And then kind of explaining why you're going to be seeing such dry and warm conditions over the southeast and the east. Now we start at the National Weather Service. Over here we'll start from west to east. So in those dark blues, those are freeze warnings, and those are going to be due to your temperatures being in the low 30s for overnight lows, and even some areas having highs in the low to mid 40s. So very cold over in the northwest, where we're 20 to 30 degrees below average. Now red flag warnings in those pinks, that's going to be due to some enhanced fire weather danger. We've been having some pretty dry conditions over these areas over the past couple of weeks and days. Now in those greens, those are flash flood watches and flood watches, and that's going to be due to some heavy precipitation moving throughout the area tonight and into tomorrow, and then even throughout the week we're going to be pretty much seeing these wet conditions over the central U.S. Now we're going to move on to our 5-day tropical outlook. So you have a 10% chance here in both of these areas have 10% chance. Now there's one right over here that's gonna go off to sea, not really gonna affect anywhere, so we're not gonna really worry about this one. But what we are gonna worry about is this disturbance right here that has 10% chance. If this one does actually develop and it kind of can move through southern Mexico and into the Gulf, where you have those increasingly warm temperatures for surface sea temperatures, then it could definitely intensify and then move in through Texas, Louisiana, or even Mississippi, which would be a pretty bad scenario, as you guys over here just got hit by Imelda with 40 plus inches of rain. Now, here's your Saharan dust. So if you see yellows, reds, oranges, that's going to be less favorable for development because you're putting that dry air. There's some dry air, so the systems won't be able to move through that area or really develop as much. You see, we do have a little bit of Saharan dust right over here throughout Texas and Louisiana, and then pretty much for most of the Gulf of Mexico. So it's just a little bit of Saharan dust could affect this system if it does look to develop. Now we're going to look at your severe weather threat. You see, we do have a slight risk actually for Wisconsin, parts of northern Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, Nebraska, and Kansas. And that's where you could be seeing some damaging hail and not really tornadoes. Tornadoes will be more confined to Wisconsin, Michigan, and upstate New York. That's where you have the greatest chance of tornadoes, but definitely still have a threat of tornadoes in that slight risk. Now, here's your chance of wind damage. You see, we have a 5% chance spanning from upstate New York through the Great Lakes and then down into Kansas. Now, as we move on to our hail outlook, 5% chance of hail over parts of Kansas, Nebraska, Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, and then Wisconsin. But then your tornado risk is going to be greatest right around the Great Lakes, as you're going to be seeing more shear, which could definitely create some tornadoes. Now, we're going to look at your precipitation outlook. So we start off, this is for today, you see some showers moving throughout the area and mainly over the central U.S. These are the thunderstorms that we were talking about that are going to be spanning all the way from New Mexico all the way into Vermont and New Hampshire. So one big line of showers. Now, as we move on again to Wednesday morning, you're going to be seeing those heavy showers over mainly from Kansas to Wisconsin and Michigan. And then for Wednesday night, the showers kind of aren't there anymore. They kind of ran out of fuel, and now we're just seeing some spotty showers over the Dakotas and parts of the Midwest, but nothing really severe, maybe some scattered thunderstorms. You also see in that pink some wintry precipitation, wintry mix in that pink for North Dakota and parts of Montana. So that's definitely something to watch for. The models have been hinting at that. If you watched my video yesterday, you know that the models had that the same area had that wintry mix. So it looks like it might actually happen, where your temperatures could be around 34, 33 degrees, and you'll end up getting some wintry mix. Now, as we move on to Thursday morning, you're going to be seeing all that band of rain kind of move throughout the U.S. And then finally, parts of the anywhere from DC to New York is really seeing rain again. We haven't been seeing a lot of rain if you're in those areas, but finally you're going to be seeing some rainfall. And then this is for Thursday night, and you're still seeing some of those showers, and then also some showers for the Northwest and parts of New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. Now, here's your pattern. This is why we're going to be seeing these dry conditions over parts of the southeast. You have this blocking high, and that high pressure is spinning clockwise. So that means that all your showers that are coming in from the west, so they're coming in from the west, they then have to go around this high pressure. So all these areas down here are not seeing rainfall because this blocking high pressure is bringing all that rain north of the high pressure. That's also why you're going to be seeing some warmer temperatures, because this warm air has to go around this high pressure, leading to those warmer temperatures, and then that's why you have the cooler temperatures out here, because you have a low pressure that's going to be situated right there, bringing the jet stream down and leading to those colder temperatures. Now, we're going to move on to our temperatures, and you see the combination of warm temperatures and dry conditions that's actually leading to many fires over parts of Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, and much of the southeast. You're actually having some wildfires. Over 300, I believe, in Alabama are currently going on. Here's your high temperatures for today, and these are high temperatures for the Northwest. You're seeing your high temperatures in the 40s and 30s. For this time of year, that is incredibly cold. Maybe in December, January, this wouldn't be a big deal, but it's September, and we're seeing. I mean, it's actually the first day of October, and we're seeing these 40s for high temperatures, and this isn't even in the mountains. Over parts of Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, these are the lower elevations, and they're still seeing temperatures in the 40s. But as we transition to the southeast, you're going to be seeing temperatures in the 90s, the mid to upper 90s for high temperatures. Here's your low temperatures, and this would be Wednesday morning, and you're seeing low temperatures in the 30s, and then over parts of the Northwest and the western U.S., and then you quickly transition into the 70s as low temperatures. Anywhere from about Massachusetts down to Texas, you could be seeing temperatures in the 70s as lows. Now, this would be for Wednesday, your high temperatures, and see, it's pretty much the same pattern. Now, as we move on, your low temperatures for Thursday, pretty much the same deal, but what we do have is a low pressure right over here that's associated with with this severe weather band that's going to be right here. So your low pressure is right here, and that's bringing with it a cold front that's just like this. So you're seeing those colder temperatures all the way over here. All these areas are seeing your colder temperatures, mainly because you're behind the cold front, or you're north of the cold front. As we move on, your high temperatures close to 100 degrees, actually some 100-degree readings over parts of the southeast. And this is in early October. You should be down in the 80s and 70s for these areas as high temperatures. You do see that the northeast does cool off. It's not in the 80s or 90s anymore. It's more in the 50s and 60s for high temperatures. So some welcome relief there for the northeast, and then also for parts of the Midwest and Northwest. Now, here's your low temperatures. This would be for Friday, and you're still seeing some low temperatures in the 70s for the southeast, but pretty much most of the U.S. is actually in the 40s and 30s for low temperatures on October 4th. And then October 5th is when the pattern change is going to occur. That's when you're going to start. This is all correlated to Lorenzo. I could go talking about this for 15 minutes about how Hurricane Lorenzo, all the way out in Europe, is actually affecting this pattern. But to sum it up, basically, once your low pressures start coming through, they're gonna start bringing your cold fronts behind it. We haven't been seeing this pattern lately, and mainly due to some blocking high pressure here, which is leading to a cold dip out west, and then troughing in the east. And so once your low pressures are moving through, they're gonna have cold fronts associated with it. So on the back side, you're gonna be seeing your colder temperatures. We haven't been seeing anything like that, and that's due to this high pressure breaking. And so a big pattern change, and finally we're going to be seeing some cooler temperatures at least for a week for most of these areas. Now, as we move on to our low temperatures on October 5th, over the northeast, low temperatures could be in the upper to mid 30s, and then over in the west, same story. Over the southeast, still in the 60s and 70s for lows, and then over the Great Lakes in the 40s and 50s for lows. Now, I want to show you your drought intensity from for all like you haven't been seeing any rainfall for the southeast, and also primarily for Texas and the southwest. You've also not been seeing too much rainfall. New Mexico and the panhandle of Texas has been seeing some showers recently, almost every day. So you haven't been in that drought recently. But over the southeast, you're in a stage 2 or 3 drought in most of these areas, and then also for parts of central Texas, you're seeing in those reds, that's an extreme drought. So just wanted to point this out that we do have some extreme droughts and severe droughts over parts of the southeast. Much of the eastern U.S. is actually in a drought, and that spans all the way through into interior New England, and then also the northwest has a drought, and then the southwest has a drought. Now, if you did enjoy that video, please consider subscribing and leaving a like on this video. Also, if you do want to see me live streaming, maybe in the winter time I might do some live streams on some winter storms, and I just wanted to know if you guys would want to see that. So if you do, just comment yes or no in the comments below. Anyways, that was Eli the Weather Guy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.